but at this point, we'll give you some 7 cruise tips so you don't trip. Okay, so first one, Princess.
Here we go. It's always important to plan way ahead, you know, when you're traveling. And sometimes with hustle and bustle of everything, we forget. A good reminder is to check your passport. Just remember, do you have enough, or to ensure that you've got enough time in your passport before you travel. So we're looking at least 6 months. Do check that you have sufficient time. You don't want to have any sort of hustle, any sort of challenges, nothing with the no border agency, no sort of issues. When you get to the airport, you want to just cruise to go through. So check your passport, make sure you've got at least 6 months in there, because some countries require that. And depending on whether you are going to stop at different countries on your cruise journey, you have to ensure before you leave your home country, check the timeline in your passport.
Make sure. Okay, next one, visa. Visas, the bane of our lives for a lot of people. But there's a lot of countries that require to have a visa entry forms. They need to be filled out prior before you go to your destinations. Ensure that they are sorted out, paperwork, documentation, etc. Passports, the lot are done. Even when you go on the cruise to various ports, some countries also require those visas too. Now you may be thinking to yourself, isn't that the responsibility of the cruise lines? Actually, it's not. As far as we are aware, it is our responsibility as cruisers, as world travelers, to ensure that these things are sorted out. And for us in the UK, we go to America, we have to sort out our ESTA visa requirements, which allows us 2 years entry in that country to travel.
I'm all about checking. So if you've got connecting flights, or if you have to go to a country to board the ship, is it board?
Yeah, board the ship.
To board the ship. Embark on the ship. Always plan ahead. Think about, do you need to put in or plan a day or two? Because sometimes flights are delays, sometimes baggages takes time, baggages sometimes are lost or misplaced, displaced, whatever may happen. So it's to plug. It's so important that you plan like a day or two before you embark in the country. Because just in case there are any sort of eventualities that you do not want to deal with, because you're on holiday, you are about to cruise, you need to have a seamless, no stress journey. Think about whether you need to schedule an additional day in your holiday, just for that that peace of mind. You know, should there be any sort of delays, you're fine.
And typically we do 2 days before as a minimum, just in case of flight delays, etc. So
I don't like more than 2 days. I think 2 days is more than enough. I think my husband, he would just enjoy.
I would do 3, 4, 5 days before.
We don't have the luxuries of holidays like that. 2 days, we do. But you may choose to do a day, or you may just choose to do it flexibly, but with that in mind.
Yes, definitely, always. So then, my peeps, my people, right. So you don't want to be that person where your name is called out, or persons, on the tannoy, stating X, Y, and Z, your name, could you please come to blah, 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 i.e. your muster station to complete your muster drill, your safety checks before we leave. Because these are the things that have to be done. And unfortunately, sometimes the cruise lines, if they're delayed massively, they get a fine by the cruise ports. So don't be that person. As soon as you enter the ship, go and find out where your muster drill location is, and etc. etc. So
Yeah, do you know, when I first went on my cruise, the first cruise,
Yeah.
I wonder what does muster station mean? As soon as you enter the ship, you've got to go to your muster station. What does that all mean? And it reminds me of the safety announcement that you have when you board the airplane.
Before departure.
Yeah, just before departure,
Pre-flight.
the pre-flight announcement, you will be advised of this, all the safety information you'll be given. And the muster station is just that. You'll be given some safety information. You'll be advised where to go in case there's any emergency. And it's important that you do that before you go to your room. So you'll be told, please head to your muster station.
And how to use a life jacket.
Yes.
And then also on some cruise lines, they provide an app where you have to review the app and also go to your muster station and they'll sign you out or sign you in. Let's say so you've done it. So they have a list of names. They know who you are. Do not have your name called. Oh my God.
Unless you like having your name
called.
Of course.
You want to be famous, eh? That famous walk.
It's a good tip to bear in mind.
Okay, now for the next one. And it's something that often causes quite a stir within the industry. It's about gratuities. So,
or tips.
Or tips. Yes, gratuities or tips.
In the UK, we don't do a lot of that. Yeah. You know, we don't. It's not familiar ground.
No, it's not.
Mostly.
Yeah.
But my goodness, in America, it is.
Yes. So all those travellers who are from Europe in particular, and because in the European system, the gratuities are built into pay and wages, etc. And so you don't often do gratuities per se, apart from tips you might do if you think someone's done a great service. But gratuities is kind of foreign to us. But in the US, it is a very common form of payment now. So your cruise line often, when you book your cruise, will say to you, right, here are the prepaid gratuities that you need to do. Now that's optional. You don't have to do it. But I would say do it, and the reason why is this: when you get on the ship, they're going to charge you anyway, and so hence, and sometimes it's more when you do it on the ship itself than when you prepay it. But equally, you have the option to actually choose to remove that gratuity payment and decide to give tips instead to your room porter or to anyone else on the ship that you feel are doing a great job for you, a great service for you. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah. I think it's important to note that even if you decide to include gratuity before you actually embark, you can actually think about whether you want to take it off or have it remain. So you can go to the customer service, what do they call it? Guest services
or lobby, guest services. Guest services.
You can go to the service desk and just ask, can I have one off, or two of you traveling, can I have them both off, or you want to keep one? You know, it's up to you.
Yes.
But you have that.
Next one. Now, have you ever heard of peer runners? Hey, ever heard of that before? Peer runners. It's quite a thing in the cruise industry, peer runners. And these are those individuals who arrive late.
There's lots of peer runners.
There's lots of peer runners.
On YouTube,
you find them on YouTube, you see them, right? And it's a thing. And lots of people, particularly when they're at port and they're departing, they wait. They wait outside, waiting for the peer runners. And they're filming it, and they're whistling and they're blowing and they're shouting, etc. to get on. And some people have been known to be left behind. Now, the most common reason for that is because they've not retained what we call the ship time. So before you depart onto that port location, on your excursion, enjoy the location itself in the port, they have a sign that tells you this is the ship time. Take a note of that ship time, put it in your phone, or or if you have a separate watch, use that instead, and just set it so that you do not find yourself being late on return to the ship.
Okay, so you have options, doesn't it? One of the great things in cruising is that each country you go to, there will be opportunities for excursions.
Yeah, take advantage of
Doing
it.
whatever you want to do, the activities that are offered via the ship or offered when you go to the country.
Independently by the locals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think about which, what you want to do. You could even opt for not doing anything and just explore the country, when you get there, you can do that. But if you do book an excursion with the cruise line,
yep.
they will wait for you. So if your excursion's taking longer or if anything's happened, they will wait for you. So you will not be a peer runner.
Or they will, or they will fly you to your next destination at no cost to you because it was booked through the cruise line. Fair enough, it is slightly more expensive, but I believe it is worth that insurance. Because there have been occasions where they've been booked independently by other people, and my gosh, they've been left behind, and they have to find their way to the next port of call themselves, and families have been left behind. Things like that has happened, so don't be that person or group.
But I think one of the most important thing is that you're going on holiday, you're going to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
So tap into some of these excursions, get to know the countries that you are going into. And if you are a regular traveler and you've been to these countries, you may just want to walk around and just see the locals and have a conversation and sit somewhere and have a cuppa or a drink or whatever you want to do. Most important thing is you're on holiday.
Yes.
So enjoy it.
Blessed love.
Thank you.
Take
care, and thank you for tuning in and being with us and enjoying and living this BaJam experience. Take care.
Aye.
Bless.